You ever been dumped without even knowing it? Not the normal kind. Not the sit-down we need to talk speech where you see the words coming out of their mouth, and you can at least feel the weight of the moment. No. I'm talking about finding out your relationship ended, because someone else told you. That's what happened to me. I didn't know we'd broken up until I found out she'd been telling people I was her ex. And not just telling people, she was using the fake breakup story to squeeze sympathy out of the guy she was really seeing. Imagine living with someone, sharing a bed, making plans, while somewhere else in the city, she's unwrapping jewelry and flowers from another man who thinks he's rescuing her from the heartbreak I supposedly caused. I'll never forget the day it clicked. It started like any other Tuesday. I went to work, answered emails, ate my boring salad at my desk, and thought about the dinner I was planning to cook for her that night. She loved when I cooked, or at least she said she did. My phone buzzed around 3 p.m. A buddy of mine sent me a screenshot. It was from Instagram. Some guy's story captioned with "She deserves the world after what he put her through. Glad I can be here for her." And there she was in the photo, smiling sheepishly, clutching a brand new necklace I'd never seen before. A necklace that I quickly realized I hadn't bought. My stomach dropped so hard I felt dizzy. At first I thought maybe it was old, maybe it was before us, maybe this guy didn't know we were together. But then I looked closer. The date stamp was fresh, the necklace was new, and the caption after what he put her through, that was about me. She was telling him I had hurt her. She was telling him I was gone, but she hadn't broken up with me. Not to my face, not to my phone, not in any reality I was aware of. I stared at that screen for what felt like an hour. My mind looped. How can someone still kiss you goodbye in the morning and also tell another man your ancient history? I didn't confront her right away. I wanted proof. That night when she came home, she kissed me on the cheek like always, asked how my day was, and then hopped into the shower. I opened her purse. I know that's a violation, but by then the violation had already happened to me. And there it was, sitting right on top, the same necklace, still in its little velvet box. A tiny card tucked beneath it, "For my girl who deserves better," signed with his name. I sat there, box in hand, listening to the water run in the bathroom, and I felt my chest cave in. I wasn't even angry yet, just hollow, like someone had scooped me out. She came out in a towel, saw me holding it, and froze. "Where did you get that?" she whispered. "Where do you think?" I asked, voice shaking. Her eyes darted, calculating, and then instead of apologizing, instead of explaining, she sighed. "I was going to tell you." I laughed, not because it was funny, but because of how absurd it sounded. "Tell me what?" "That we broke up. Because last I checked, you kissed me goodbye this morning." She tried to spin it. She said she needed space, that she hadn't known how to say it, that she didn't want to hurt me. But the reality was clear. She wasn't brave enough to actually end things with me. She just wanted the perks of being single without the consequences. And the perks in this case were sympathy gifts from a man who thought he was saving her. The more I dug, the worse it got. She'd been telling people I was toxic, that I didn't appreciate her, that I'd checked out of the relationship months ago. Lies, every one of them. I wasn't perfect, but I was there. I showed up, I cooked, I planned trips, I supported her when she cried over work. And all the while she was painting me as the villain, so she could play the victim. I wanted to scream at her. I wanted to throw the necklace against the wall, but I didn't. I sat there quiet, watching her squirm, because sometimes silence hurts more than shouting. She kept talking, filling the air with excuses, waiting for me to break, to beg, to fight for her, but I didn't. That night, I slept on the couch. She tried to climb in beside me at one point, whispering, "We can get through this," but I turned my back, and in that moment, something inside me shifted. The love I thought was unbreakable started to crack. The next day, I started piecing things together. Friends I hadn't talked to in weeks started reaching out, asking if I was okay. That's when I realized she'd been running her story far and wide. She'd been rehearsing her role as the broken-hearted girl, collecting sympathy points like currency, and with every flower delivery, every dinner date, every gift from him, she was cashing in. But here's the thing she didn't count on. People talk, secrets spread, and lies have a way of circling back to the person they were meant to bury. That's where I'll pause part 1. because the discovery was only the beginning. The fallout, the confrontation with him, the unraveling of her web, the way her lies collapsed under their own weight, that was still to come. And when it came, it didn't just expose her, it exposed everyone who'd been willing to play along. When I left off, I was sitting on that couch, the velvet necklace box still on the coffee table like a loaded gun. I remember staring at it in the dark, her asleep in the bedroom, and realizing the relationship I thought I had was already gone. She wasn't mine anymore. Hell, maybe she never was. She'd just been playing both sides, kissing me goodnight, while painting me as the monster in someone else's fairy tale. And that someone else wasn't just a fling. It was her carefully chosen audience, her secret boyfriend, the man who thought he was saving her. I didn't sleep that night. My mind spun in circles, trying to decide what to do. Should I confront her? Should I confront him? Should I torch everything we'd built together and walk away without a word? Every option felt like losing, because no matter what, I was the fool. I was the guy she lied about to score gifts and dinners and pity. By morning I decided I needed the truth, straight from him. If she was going to lie to my face, I wanted to hear the lies from his mouth too, just to see how deep it all went. So I texted him. Simple, direct. We need to talk, man to man. He replied almost instantly, sure, coffee shop on 8th. I sat across from him an hour later, both of us clutching steaming mugs. Neither of us touched. He looked nervous, twitchy, but not guilty. No, he wore the face of a man who believed he was in the right. You know she's still living with me, right? I asked flatly. His eyes widened, then narrowed. She told me you two broke up months ago. She said you wouldn't leave, that you were controlling her. I almost laughed, the sound sharp and bitter. Controlling her. I made her dinner last night. I tucked her in. Does that sound like a breakup to you? He shifted in his seat, clearly rattled. She said you were toxic, that you never listened, that you belittled her. I believed her. Because, he trailed off, shrugging helplessly. Because it made you feel like her hero. I finished for him. She fed you a sob story, and you ate it up. You bought her necklaces, didn't you? Flowers, dinners, all because you thought you were saving her. He flushed, guilty now. I just wanted to make her feel loved. And you thought the best way to do that was to believe the worst about me without ever meeting me. I leaned forward, my voice low. She lied to both of us. She got to keep her relationship with me. The stability, the roof, the security, and she got your gifts and your sympathy. You weren't her savior, you were her side hustle. His face crumpled. For the first time he looked less like a rival and more like another victim. And that's when I realized just how manipulative she had been. I left him there, staring into his untouched coffee, and walked out into the cold. The anger burned hotter now, but it wasn't just at her. It was at myself, for ignoring the signs, for letting her gaslight me into thinking my suspicions were insecurity. That night when I got home I confronted her again. This time, no velvet boxes, no quiet conversations, just raw, unfiltered truth. I spoke to him, I said. Her head snapped up. What? I know what you've been telling him, that I was toxic, that we broke up, that you needed saving, and while you were whispering lies in his ear, you were still sharing my bed. Her mouth opened and closed like a fish gasping for air. Then she snapped. Why would you talk to him? This isn't about him, it's about us. No, I said firmly. It's about you, about how you've been living two lives, and dragging me through the mud in one of them. You don't get to play the victim when you're the one holding the knife. She cried. Of course. Big, heaving sobs. She begged me to understand. She said she felt neglected, that she needed attention, that she didn't mean for it to go this far. But I was done listening. I'd heard enough lies to last me a lifetime. I packed a bag that night, just the essentials. As I zipped it up, she grabbed my arm, tears streaming down her face. Don't leave. Please. We can fix this. I looked at her, really looked at her, for the first time without love clouding my vision. And all I saw was someone who thrived on deception, who would rather fake a breakup than face the truth. No, I said quietly, pulling free. You can fix yourself. I'm done. Walking out that door was the hardest thing I've ever done, but also the most liberating. For weeks I felt hollow. The whispers among friends, the pitying looks, The endless cycle of replaying her lies. It all weighed heavy. But with time, the weight shifted. I started to see her not as the love of my life, but as the lesson of my life. And here's the twist she didn't expect. Her lies came crashing down on her anyway. Mutual friends began to compare notes, realizing the stories she'd told didn't add up. The sympathy boyfriend cut her off once he saw her manipulation for what it was. The gifts stopped, the attention dried up, and she was left with nothing but her own reflection. Me? I walked away scarred. Yes, but also stronger. Because the truth is, someone faking a breakup isn't just ending a relationship. They're exposing who they really are. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. So yeah, she faked a breakup with me to score gifts from her secret boyfriend. She thought she could juggle two realities forever. But the thing about lies is they eventually collapse under their own weight. And when they did, I wasn't buried beneath them. She was, and I never looked back.